Developments tonight in the feud over Iran's nuclear ambitions. Israel taking a strong combative stance against foreign pressure to avoid military conflict with Iran. The Israeli foreign minister speaking out against United States and Russian warnings, saying, quote, "It is not their business." For more on the day's developments, we were Joe Cirincione, the president of Plowshares Fund, a global security foundation, author of the book Bomb Scare, The History, the Future of Nuclear Weapons and Deadly Arsenals. Joe, good to have you here.
Nice to see you, Lou.
Often nations, like individuals, demonstrate stress and perhaps desperation when they confuse their enemies and their friends. Is that what Israel is doing here in issuing a very loud public warning to both the United States and Russia?
Well, Israel has its own internal divisions over this issue, and you see that reflected in the comments of the foreign minister and the prime minister, Netanyahu, who seem to be strong advocates for attacking Iran, for military strikes against Iran. But you see other Israeli defense and intelligence officials warning, as the retired head of Mossad, the Israeli intelligence unit, Meir Dagan, said a few months ago that attacking Iran would be the stupidest thing he ever heard of. It would set back Israel's interests for 10 years. U.S. officials are trying to caution Israel not to take provocative action that would ignite a larger war in the region that might draw the U.S. into that war. And some Israeli officials clearly resent that. You heard that in the remarks of the foreign minister today.
And whom should we believe when it comes to intelligence? You mentioned the Mossad. It is the intelligence agency of a country of 6.5 million people, after all. I put it against the intelligence, if you will, as we try to weigh which is more likely the accurate. That of Europe and the United States, because there is a great question here as to whether or not any of the estimates of when Iran will have a nuclear weapon, they're highly questionable.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Lou. So you hear some officials, like the Prime Minister of Israel, saying that Iran will reach a point in the next few months where it will cross a line, where it will go into a zone where it will be impossible to stop it from getting a nuclear weapon. But that's not what U.S. intelligence and military officials say. U.S. intelligence officials, just testifying on Capitol Hill in January, said that in their estimate it would take Iran at least 6 months to make the material for a bomb, another 6 months to a year to actually make a crude nuclear device, and another year or so after that to be able to make a weapon that could actually be delivered by aircraft or by missile.
You know, when I hear,
from the
Joe,
U.S. view, we have some time before we're getting to a point of no return.
When I hear intelligence of that order of specificity, I automatically doubt it even more, because it's impractical to think in real-world experience that they would know so well the timeline. Don't you think?
Well, actually, Lou, I think it's based on assessments of, we know with a very high degree of certainty what facilities Iran has. This is the most watched country in the world. We have UN inspectors inspecting the enrichment facilities. So we base these estimates on how long it would take them to turn their centrifuges from making fuel to making a bomb.
But
and
again,
then we have a pretty good idea of how long it takes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but again, inspectors most recently turned down that they were not permitted into one base, and those are just known installations and facilities. To quote former Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, do we know what we don't know here?
Well, we spend a lot of intelligence assets, as does Israel, as do many other countries in the world, looking at Iran. So we have dropped sensors on Iran. We have unmanned drones circling Iran. We have U-2 spy planes. We have apparently sources within the Iranian nuclear program that are giving us intelligence and sabotaging some of their facilities, as you saw with the Stuxnet virus just 2 years ago. So the intelligence is very good. It's not perfect, so there are unknowns. You can't count on perfect intelligence.
Joe Cirincione, we appreciate you being here.